facilities offered were superb, with a large trade stand selling everything the modeler needs and lots more besides, as the polo fields were transformed into immaculate grass runways, while the stadium provided the large crowd of spectators with magnificent views during the 4 days of top-class flying. The main driving force behind this event is Frank Tiano.
The thing was built joint by joint. We're going to tell you some other information about it instead. For an example, the scale.
Scale is 1/5.8.
Almost 1/6.
Almost 1/6.
Wingspan of
80.5 inches.
Designed by
me. And
by you. Whose drawings? Do you remember whose drawings?
It's the map drawings.
Okay.
And then I drew them up to scale
Sure.
for the plane.
Scale airfoil.
Scale. Airfoil is scale.
Landing gear.
Landing gear I designed myself. It's kind of a strange landing gear, so I machined it myself.
It's got two
separate legs up and down.
Right.
And, so it works very much like the real one.
How about the weight?
The weight is 26 pounds, empty.
It looks heavier.
I built 3 of them now, and they're all the same weight, so I guess.
Engine?
Engine is a 300 OS twin 4-stroke.
That's a opposed twin?
Opposed twin, yes, flat twin. Fuel, we're running cool power 10%.
How much oil? You know?
It's, I don't know the oil.
18, probably a sport fuel, 18, 20%.
It's a sport fuel, yes.
What prop does this thing turn and at what RPMs?
It turns about 7,500 RPM with a 2610 Zinger prop.
I noticed the airplane is very, very smooth. You fly it inverted, it's rock steady. Any bad habits at all that you had to work out of it, or got lucky from the beginning?
Got lucky from the beginning. The airplane, basically, aerodynamically, is just a pretty good flying airplane, and it'll do just about any maneuver in a pattern, as a matter of fact. So it doesn't need to be flown just in smooth scale things. You can hot dog it around if you want to.
Thank you, Mel, for the interview, and good luck to you the rest of the event.
Okay, mighty fine, Frank.
This Sea-Fury has a span of 8.5 inches, weighing 24 pounds, and it is powered with that beautiful sound. I think we got out a little. And here comes Mel Whitley on his low flyby. Oh, I guess it's a touchdown. Yes, he did his entire flight. Nice touchdown, too. Here is this Tiger Moth.
This third scale de Havilland 82A Tiger Moth was brought to Florida by Fred Beard, one of 4 British contestants who had the unenviable task of transporting their large aircraft across the Atlantic. Fred is a commercial artist and has painted this 24-pound biplane in RAF training colours. The wingspan is 117 inches and the model is finished with a nylon covering. from the slow, graceful elegance of the Tiger Moth to the rather faster elegance of this team scale entry, the Learjet.
I'm Mark Frankel. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is in the mid-1980s. The registration number of the aircraft was November 666 Romeo Bravo. The paint scheme on this model reproduces the paint scheme on that aircraft precisely. This aircraft, in fact, even though it is 4 years old, was just recently put on display at the Learjet factory in Wichita, Kansas during a product symposium that they were having. It's going to be flown this weekend in team scale at Top Gun. It's being flown by Dennis Crooks, who is probably one of the most competent twin-engine jet modelers in the country. He's far more able in flying this aircraft than I am.
Dennis Crooks, a master at the control panel. You may notice Dennis has his transmitter actually strapped to his body. Actually, it's a tray. It makes it a little easier for him to control all the functions that he has to deal with.
The retracting gear is manufactured by Tom Cook of Jet Model Products. The struts that I use are a composite of Byron original parts, modified to look like the Learjet main gear, and also a nose gear unit that was fabricated for me by Jerry Warthen of Impact Engineering.
The entrance now, 2 for $25, and a great find that is. 2 for $25 while they last. Those are the Top Gun t-shirts. And that explains why a lot of these aircraft have been used in movies. Several pilots here have flown for movies.
This aircraft is powered by 2 OS-65 ducted fan engines. They spin Dynamax 11-bladed ducted fans, each producing approximately 10 pounds of static thrust. The tune pipe system on these engines is somewhat unique. It was fabricated for me by Wally McAllister of Mac Mufflers. It's a short quarter-wave pipe, which produces a tune pipe effect in a very short distance. It was necessary because of the short tailpipe length in this pod installation on the Learjet.
Dennis also showed off his piloting skills with a superb aerial demonstration of his SR-71 Blackbird. Although not actually entered in the competition, this display won the hearts of spectators and fellow pilots alike.
Look at this silhouette against the sky. Aren't you glad the airplane's on our side?
I'm Dennis Crooks from Big Rock, Illinois, and between 60 and 70 flights. Originally, it was powered by 2 OS-77s with Dynamax fans. Flew the airplane very well. However, 2 years ago, we installed OS-91s, and the airplane really took on a new life. The performance went up considerably. Even at 23 pounds, the airplane has pretty respectable vertical performance. Cells are from Jet Model Products. The struts are made up myself, including their prototypical 3 tires on the mains and 2 on the nose, of course, using Robart tires. Originally, we did not have rudders on the airplane, which it was still flyable, but an engine-out situation became very difficult. So since then, we've incorporated a full flying rudders, exactly as is on the prototype, and they make a world of difference. When you take it out of the box, it'll come in 2 pieces. split approximately right in front of the wedge, and all that's required then is to finish the wooden parts, install the hardware, and you're ready to go. It's nearly complete when you get it. Flying it is a little different story. It's certainly not an airplane I'd suggest for a beginner or even a moderate skill level. It will certainly hold your attention. It has a few peculiarities, particularly on landing. You must keep the speed a little faster than what you might think normal. What will happen as it starts to slow excessively, it starts a wing walk. It won't roll over, it just continues to waddle. And the slower it goes, the more the nose pitches up, and will eventually, if this continues, will land on its tail. Literally, nose will pitch straight up and it'll fall backward. I know this from experience. It also makes a difference. The CG is very critical on this airplane. Even though it's approximately 104 inches long, a half inch of movement of the CG will make the difference between a very comfortable airplane and one that's not so comfortable, to put it that way. Engine outs are flyable, assuming you have a few flights on it originally to get the feel of it. After that, it can be flown on one engine. It's a real showstopper, not necessarily a contest airplane, but once it's up and moving, the airplane is very stable and very solid.
Look at this silhouette against the sky. Aren't you glad the airplane's on our side? By the way, no longer used in the active inventory. It's replaced by the new stealth type of aircraft. We go now after takeoff, left to right. Back around, you may ask the question, will it climb? Just watch. When you get it down, picking up the airspeed, left center stage, and then up vertical. Now we're not going to go to the 40,000 plus altitude that this aircraft has exceeded a number of times. This time today. Numbers
The pilot is Richard Rawle, the youngest pilot in the competition, and the model was built by Peter Guyver. Along with the other British competitors, this is their first Top Gun event. With a wingspan of 100 inches, this large aircraft gets its more than adequate power from two chainsaw engines. If we fade out the sound of the chainsaws and bring in the roar of a real Mosquito's engines, you can see how authentic this model really is.
How about that, folks? De Havilland Mosquito from the team of Peter Guyver and Richard Rawle from England.
Keeping the British theme going is Richard Crapp, who brought along this de Havilland DH-89M Dragon Rapide. Weighing in at 30 pounds, this military version features drop bombs, top rear turret, and an operational nose landing light.
Hi, I'm Richard Crapp, first year at the top. It's all traditional bolster and ply, but I've learnt a lot about wings lately, and we've got long spruce tapering spars with complete scarf joints all the way through. Both, the entire wing outfit weighs 4 pounds. The all-up weight's 35 pounds. Right, this is the top turret, which I'm very pleased with. Slides like this. The old gun folds out like that. And it can swivel like that. Like that. We haven't quite finished to put the ammunition cases on yet. I'm doing that tonight, just before the judging. I'll show you these bombs falling through the spring-loaded doors. There you go. In this competition, the bombs have to fall authentically, nose first and not tumble. So I had to saw the front off and fill it up with molten lead.
traveled away of the Russians. Those Germans need 3 wings to fly. I've never figured that out. Chuck Fuller up overhead with the Sukhoi aerobatic aircraft with smoke on. Meanwhile, the Havilland 89 Graffiti is lining up for takeoff along the crossfield strip. Richard Pratt, all the way from good old England. I have been corrected. I should have said jolly old England. Servos on board to control the flight controls. Yesterday, I found they moved down into the fuselage. There's actually a sliding door on the roof of this aircraft that covers the machine gun position. The door slides forward, the machine gun pops up. When you look into the cockpit, World War II, where in fact, quite old, that's really obsolete, and where it is in quite poor condition when the Royal Air Force got a hold of them. And now one of the more difficult things in model building, for the scale model building, is to copy carefully a decrepit aircraft. Again, that wrap will be at 3 o'clock for 2 radio-controlled aircraft with the engine and radio, and a color television set. Proceeds benefiting the Wellington High School Athletic Department and the Boy Scouts. Good decision on that pilot's part.
Don't hold the running out because you think that they're flying a little more loosely on the 4th round. Wait till you see them fly after the round is over.
That's exactly right, Alex, and you folks ought to stick around as soon as this round gets through. Let's watch Richard Pratt landing his de Havilland Dragon rookie. And he's safely down.
Great round of applause for this gentleman fighting some really tough wind conditions.